משה
258.
ואהרון וכהניו ושמואל בקורא שמו קוראים אל אדוני והוא יענם בעמוד ענן ידבר עליהם שמרו עדותיו וחוק נתן למו אדוני אלוהינו אתה ניתן אל נושא הייתה להם ונוקם על עלילותם רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו.
Page 260. You're welcome to rise if you're able. מזמור לדוד, עבור אדוני בני אלים, עבור אדוני כבוד ועוז, עבור אדוני כבוד שמו, השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, כל אדוני על המים, אל הכבוד הרים אדוני על מים, על מים, על מים, רבים על מים, על מים, על מים רבים.
כל אדוני בכוח, כל אדוני בהדר. כל אדוני שובר ארזים וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון וירפידם כמו עגל לבנון וסיריון כמו בן רמים כמו בן רמי. כל אדוני חוצב לעוטש, כל אדוני יחיל מדבר, יחיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני חולל הידות, ויחשוף יערות, ובהיכלו כולו מרכבות, כולו אומר כבוד, כולו אומר כבוד.
אדוני למבול ישב וישב, אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. את עמו, את עמו, את עמו בשלום.
So we arrive at the moment of the Chadodi, and I always have the image of, for anyone who's been to Israel and in Sfat at the top of the mountain, and you can understand why there was this sense of longing to come greet Shabbat in nature, and the sense of what it meant to have a vision on the top of a hill. And doesn't necessarily feel like we have that sense of height right at this moment to have the vision of all the beauty that's laid before us and what will be ahead of us. But Shabbat is supposed to give us that lift, sense of being a little bit above and on the mountain, to be able to see a little bit differently and to look a little bit differently at what lies before us, with maybe not necessarily having climbed a mountain. We've probably climbed a week. We've had a pilgrimage of this week with its blessings and its challenges, with hopefully some healing and struggles and all that it's been. And so I look to those rabbis of old and who created this beautiful liturgy of Kabbalat Shabbat and put it together to say, actually, how might we climb up to use a different lens to look at what it could be. So I invite us as we sing the Chadodi, which is on page 262 in Sim Shalom. And what page is it on in
23.
23, and Tiffanal page calling. That what would it mean to step up a little bit from the week and see things a little bit differently, allow to invite in some different eyes for the Shabbat, a different expansiveness of the heart and the soul, and a little bit different kind of breathing as we sing the Chadodi beginning on page 262.
חדודי לקראת קלה פן שבת נקבלה פן שבת נקבלה שמור וזכור בין דיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד על מה אחד ושמו אחד לשם ותפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת קלה פן שבת נקבלה פן שבת נקבלה
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת קלה פן שבת נקבלה פן שבת נקבלה.
מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה קומי צאי מתוך ההפכה רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פן שבת נקבלה פן שבת נקבלה
התנערי מעפר קומי לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי על יד בן ישי ותלחמי קורבן אל נפשי גאלה היכן דודי לקראת קלה פן שבת נקבלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
התעוררי, כי לאורך קומי אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תקלמי, מה תשתוכחי ומטה מבך. יחסו עניי עמי ונבנתה עיר על תלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
והיו לי משיסה שורסייך ורחקו כל מבעלי העיר, יסיס עלייך אלוהי ריקים סוס חתן על כלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תעריצי על יד איש בן פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
בואי ושלום, עטרת פלה גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה שבת המלכה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Page 27, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון וכינור. כי שימחתני אדוני בפעול למעשיך ומלכות עשיך אדוני כולה. לשמוע שבותיך לפרוח לשעים כמו עשב.
צדיקה תמר יפרח, ארז לבנון יזכה, שתולים לבית אדוני, וחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו. הון ינובון בשיבה, ושנים רעננים יהיו, להגיד כי אשר יהיה צורים לא המלאכת בו.
Before we move on to the next psalm, we now are hearing through the windows the expression of gratitude for all the essential workers, in particular for healthcare workers. So let's all stand and signify our gratitude, solidarity for all those people who are now serving us and serving the whole community with such dedication and love. Continue now on page 29, Psalm 93.
מקולות מים רבים, אדירים משברי ים, אדיר במרום אדוני, עדותיך נאמנו מאוד. לביתך נא וקודש, אדוני לאורך ימים, לביתך נא וקודש, אדוני לאורך ימים.
Those who are in mourning and those who mark a yortzeit are all invited now to rise to recite the Mourner's Kaddish. It's on page 30 in Lev Shalem.
And on page 268 in Sim Shalom, and if you'd like to type in the chat the name of the person you're saying Kaddish for, you're welcome to do so now.
So first write, and then we say Kaddish. Okay, everybody ready? Kaddish, page 30 once again, and
Page 268.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
ועלמא דברה קראותי וימליך מלכותי, חייכון וביומכון וחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן.
Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Barach Me'olam Omei Omaya.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשם בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה, שירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן ועלמה ואמרו אמן.
Amen.
יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, והוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
Amen.
I want to share a few words of Torah about this week's Torah portion, Parshat Shmini. In this Torah portion, we read about the inauguration of the Mishkan. The Mishkan was set up at the end of the book of Shmot, and then the instructions about the sacrifices were offered in the first few chapters of the book of Vayikra, of Leviticus, and then the priests were ready. Now they're consecrated, and the whole worship is going to begin. The sacrificial system is now about to start. And as it's about to start, something terrible happens, and something really, really bad goes wrong. Something terrible happens. And the two children of Aaron, HaKohen, the priest, the high priest, Nadav and Avihu, they bring their fire pans, they put fire, they put coals in their fire pan, they put incense on top of the coals, and as they put the incense on top of the coals, something terrible happens. There's a fire that comes and burns them alive, and they die. A lot of commentators are trying to explain, because it's a very mysterious scene. There really isn't any reason given why they died and they perished in this terrible way. And there's a lot of mystery that this section is wrapped in a lot of mystery and a lot of confusion. And so a lot of commentators give different reasons why this may have happened to the two sons of Aaron. Some think that they were intoxicated, that they had drunk too much wine, and they had come to perform the worship in a state of intoxication. Some think that they were arrogant and that they were power hungry, that they were greedy. Some think that they were rebellious. There's all sorts of reasons. Some think that they were too pious and that they came so close to God in their desire to be close to worship God, that basically they were consumed in their piety. And so there are all sorts of reasons given. And this situation, of course, ends with their death. And the response of Aaron, their father, the Torah tells us, is Vaidom Aaron. And Aaron is completely silent. We don't understand if it's a silence of acquiescence, if it's a silence of submission, if it's a silence of rage, of contained rage, if it's a silence of shock. Who can judge a father at the sight of the loss of two children like that? So we don't really know. Now, we find ourselves in a situation that is wrapped in mystery. We don't know why what's happening is happening. We don't know so many things. We know much less about what's going on around the world, and in particular in our city, which is one of the central places of where this pandemic is being experienced. We know so little. We know that there's a lot of death, that there's a lot of suffering, but we know so little. Everything is wrapped in mystery. We don't even know how to answer with rage, to answer with silence, to answer with, we are all confused. We're living in this situation and we're all confused. Now, one interesting thing that the Torah offers is that immediately following this section of the death of these two young men, Nadav and Avihu, the Torah says that priests cannot come to offer to participate in the worship or to lead the worship in a state of intoxication. They have to refrain, to stay away from wine. In other words, discipline is the response to this situation. And we happen to also be, I think it is fortuitous that we now have entered last night the second week of the counting of the Omer, the week of Gevurah, the week of discipline, the week of boundaries. And so one of the responses that we are experiencing now to this terrible catastrophe that is going around the world is the response is discipline. We don't understand. Everything is beyond our control. Like in this Torah portion, this thing happens, it's out of control. The death, in a sense, sort of overflows and takes these two young men. And so, we are experiencing this overflow of death that brings with it anguish and fear. And the response is discipline, that we know that we have to stay in our homes, that we know that we have to follow the rules, we have to wear masks. We know that the more disciplined we are, the more we can save lives, our lives and the lives of others. And so we have to be really strict, and we really have to be really obedient. And we all wish that this discipline had been instituted a long time ago, but it wasn't. And so now we have to be really, really careful and really disciplined. And not just, as I said, this is the week of discipline, of Gvura, in the counting of the Omer. And we have to think about discipline in many different ways, but not just to be disciplined with discipline. We have to think about being disciplined with love and with care. In the first few days, when we were experiencing this thing, everybody was thinking about solidarity and about thinking of others. We have to remain constant and disciplined about reaching out to others, disciplined in our love. We have to be disciplined in all the ways we can to make out of this, to create the least possible suffering and to expand love and care and concern and chesed. And so, and beauty if we can. You know, we are here joining together. It's not easy to join together on Zoom or to join together in live stream, but here we are. We are disciplined with the technology. And the more we are serious and rigorous, the best I think we can respond to what's going on now. So I invite all of us to take this week of Gevurah, the week of discipline and boundaries that the counting of the Omer offers us, to really try to respond in this way to what we are experiencing, to this not knowing, to this thing that is out of control, beyond our control. And maybe we can somehow, we're not going to make sense of this, but somehow maybe we're going to contain what's going on here with discipline, with love, with caring, with solidarity, and with beauty. We have to bring beauty. We have to be disciplined about keeping on to bring about and to create as much of those things that give us a sense, that elevate us and take us out of the anguish and the anxiety and the fear. So don't forget to count the Omer tonight. We counted 8 last night. I just want to make a couple of very quick announcements before we close. We want to extend condolences to a number of members in our community, to Marvin Lang and Ellen Metziger and their daughter Rebecca Lang, on the death of Marvin's mother, Beatrice Lang, to Toby Boldinger and her daughter Danielle on the death of Toby's aunt, Rosalind Glass, to Marcy Kopakin on the death of her sister, Fern Kopakin, to Eileen Clayman Butler and Larry Butler and their children, Sydney and Tessa, on the death of Eileen's mother, Nanette Balmuth, to Joanne Palmer and Andy Sherman and their daughter, Miriam, their son-in-law, David, their grandchildren, Nava and Judah, and their entire family, the death of Joanne's mother, Lorraine Palmer, and to Amy and Ron Gottman, their children, Zoe and Sebastian and Thomas, and their entire family, the death of Amy's mother, Iris Kaplan. A lot of loss in our community, and I hope we can extend with discipline, compassion, and care and comfort to all those in our community. Finally, we are going to join tomorrow in live stream at 10 a.m. Ari, Felicia, and myself, we're going to be in the sanctuary. You can join us at 10 via live stream if you do use technology on Shabbat. If you don't, and if you do, you can join us at 8:30 tomorrow evening for Havdalah and Arvit. And then there's more coming this week, including Yom HaShoah on Monday night, and everything was sent out in an email. And now we are going to continue before the time of candle lighting really passes with the lighting of the candles, which Felicia and her family are going to lead us.
So if you have candles, this is a moment we can light together. No. One moment.
Please. The candles are currently under repair. Oh no, Mommy.
Okay, it's okay.
Mommy's finger will get burned if she tries to do this much longer. Mommy! Mommy.
Aiden. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Amen. Continue now with a blessing of all the children, either who are here and those who are not here with us, but we extend this blessing to all the children in our community and beyond our community. Ari will sing Hamalach HaGoel, and then we'll do Birkat Kohanim.
המלאך הגואל אותי, המלאך הגואל אותי מכל רע, יברך את הנערים, ויקרב בהם שמי. ושם אבותיי, אברהם ויצחק, וידגו לרוב, בקרב הארץ.
ישמחה אלוהים כאפרים וכמנשה, ישימך אלוהים כשרה רבקה רחל לאה. יברכך אדוני וישמרך, יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך, יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לכם שלום.
אמן. שבת שלום.
אמן. שבת שלום.
שבת שלום.
שבת שלום.
Bye bye.